Well cleared by Brunswick boys there.
That's Tony James with a good challenge there, but he's giving it straight away again. And that's a good ball through for Brunswick.
Another opportunity, but he's just got the legs there. Little number 9 is just had that extra yard. Oh. Free kick there, I think. Oh. Just outside the box. It
looks like Tony Evans is going to take this one.
Now, if they make as much use of this as they did at the corner, a very good opportunity for the Brunswick. Yeah.
And did it cross the line? I think it did. That's Phil Stankham.
Well, we'll have another little look at that. I don't think we'll be able to shed much light on it from our angle, but the referee's given it. Not quite as controversial as the 1966 did it cross the line, but I'm sure it'll have people talking. You'll get the opportunity to see that again. It's Brunswick boys 1, Royal Mail 0. Did you just get the scorer for that?
Well, if it was Phil Stankham, which I'm sure it is, I'd like to have another look though. He's been involved in everything, like I said earlier, and he thoroughly deserves to get himself on the score sheet, really.
I'm sure we get to a bit of a break, we'll be able to have another look at that. So if you have just joined us, it's Brunswick boys in the red, leading Royal Mail, playing in the yellow shirts, 1-0. Brunswick 1, Royal Mail 0. Referee's having a word there. Referee wasn't happy with the way the free kick was taken, so have it taken again. Royal Mail looking to get a quick equaliser here.
Bit of confusion over who's going to take the free kick there, I think. Knocks out wide to Mark Hughes.
Oh.
Disappointing ball, really. Wouldn't be happy with that.
As we said earlier, I think Brunswick boys, the quicker to settle down, and that shows in the scoreline, 1-0 to Brunswick. They're beginning to get most of the possession as well, Brunswick boys. They do seem to have the slightly bigger team, if nothing as bigger in height. A few more solid boys, and they're stamping their authority on the game, but no lack of enthusiasm and running off the ball from the Royal Mail side. It's just not going their way at the present moment.
Physical strength is helping him out today, though, in this heat. They certainly do seem to be seeing most of the ball. Here they come again. And the offside flag goes up, the linesman there. Close decision to me. Referee's way to play on.
Again, it's quite surprising. No week we've seen whether the teams are under 11 or under 18, that you really know their football, and they certainly play that offside trap. A lot of attention to detail from the coaches in training here. There's a big number 4 there for Brunswick. Is that Jang's Potter? That's I think it's James, is it? It's not. You're right. It's not so good. I thought Jang's. Thought we had the Norwegians back on them for a minute.
Yeah, I think number 4 Potter.
All right.
Oh, and that's a goal. Really against the run of play, the Royal Mail got themselves back in.
We'll have a little look at that again, because the ball just comes through, just runs free here. Took it very, very well, and as we were saying before, those speculative shots from just outside the box, which that was, not an ocean of power behind that, but the keeper was well and truly wrong-footed. Just watched it go in the bottom of the net, and
like it was either Phil Moylan or Mark Hughes.
I think it was possibly Mark Hughes who'd gone across to the other side, but 1-1 the score. That was the equaliser Royal Mail were looking for. Certainly the more definite goal there for Royal Mail. And as I said, I think that's the way to open both of these defences up.
Yeah, Brunswick Seemed to be cruising somewhat at one stage, but it was against the run of play, that goal. And I think it'll make for a better game that Royal Mail have equalised. That was pushed forward there. Phil Stankham couldn't quite control it first time, and it's through to the keeper. So here come Brunswick again. Paul Kelly on the
Keeper
ball.
came out and collected it well. Had slightly more to do, the Royal Mail keeper. James Potter again. Very big young man in the defence there, having no problems at all up to now.
Looks like a free kick there. Tony Evans tripped over by the touchline.
Good opportunity here for Brunswick. Whoa.
Oh, it slipped through again.
Right through.
And this must be a chance. But it's well cleared, really well cleared by Royal Mail. Brunswick should have done better there, I think.
Really should have made the most of that opportunity. Very disappointed with that, Brunswick boys. Well, that was a missed opportunity for the Brunswick boys there. Lots of space in the box. They're just, again, as you were saying, their first touch.
And it's a really good ball through.
Oh, look,
But a really good challenge there. He's given it away.
Well, I really felt the referee should have blown for a free kick there. The number 8 there for Royal Mail was just totally bundled off the ball. Lots of shouts going around the touchline. I think was well founded.
So Stankham with a throw. That's controlled by Chris Smith, captain.
Oh, a little bit of confusion there. The goalkeeper's come out.
That's right, not really good understanding there between Gary Pinch and his keeper. Keeper choosing to launch the ball into touch. And it'll be Tony Evans with the throw for Brunswick.
As you said before, Rob, if you're in any doubt, put it as far out of the pitch as you possibly can.
They certainly have.
Well, if you just joined us, you're watching Liverpool Live, Channel 18, with our full coverage of Merseyside International Youth Football Festival. You're watching the under-11s Brunswick boys versus Royal Mail. Brunswick in the red, and the score is 1-1. Brunswick, a lot of argy-bargy, a lot of pushing going on there. Referee blows his whistle. Hasn't had too much of a problem with this match up to now. Let's hope it stays that way. A little bit of frustration creeping in to the game now.
Been playing in a good spirit though.
Yeah, I think so. But even at this age group, they take it exceptionally serious. And if you think a decision's gone against them when they should have had it, the temperatures do start to rise a little bit. Easily cut out there by Brunswick boys.
So it's Gavin Williams down on the right wing. Can he keep that in? He can't.
Haven't seen too much use of the other side of the park though. A lot of the attack coming down the wing nearest our commentary position. And that's another throw in.
It'll be Gavin Williams again to take that one. And it's knocked out to James Johnson.
Oh, slice that. Good control.
Stankham just creeping offside there. Heisman puts his flag up.
Number 8 there for the Royal Mail. That's Phil Moylan. He's enjoying himself. He seems it's only a small boy there, but he's covering the pitch. He'll be tired as we get to the second half, and that's where I think it'll begin to tell on Royal Mail, because it's Brunswick have got a lot of these much bigger lads. I don't think they will tire as quickly, and I think that's where we'll see the advantage in the second half.
I think certainly when you look at players like Chris Smith in the Brunswick side and Tony James Down here, the Royal Mail, there really is a huge gulf in height.
Yeah, and I think when it comes to that 1-to-1, or as we saw 2-to-1 situation, Royal Mail boys are easily bundled off the ball, which is a little bit unfair.
Certainly as the game goes on as well. I think the Royal Mail will tire.
There's an opportunity for them now. Just breaks free and
Oh, that's a good effort. That was Phil Moylan there.
Again, great skill from Phil, but obviously at this stage he's going to develop and get a little bit more power in his game, and that's all he's lacked at the present moment. He's certainly got a good eye for the ball, to get himself into good positions, a lot of skill. Just
didn't quite get enough on the ball, did he really?
That's it, but as I say,
let's put forward there. James Williams.
It's under 11, and we may find that some of these boys are like maybe 9 and 10, some are 11, so there's a good difference in age as well. There's attack again for Royal Mail. Just haven't quite got the legs there on...
Mark Hughes it is, number 9.
Mark Hughes didn't quite have the legs on James Potter there.
It was a good run though. I think if they can keep trying to make those runs, obviously sooner or later they're going to get through. I like the chance that Moylan had a few minutes ago.
Royal Mail again. There's Phil Moylan, he's breaking away. Now there's a good opportunity for Royal Mail here. A little bit of pressure on the keeper, manages to put it out for a throw-in. Taken quickly. Oh, punted right in there high. That'll be no problems for Brunswick boys there. Certainly got the height. Well taken. Again, just caught that yard offside.
Yeah, Phil Moylan just straying into an offside position. It was close though.
Having a very good game, I think, Phil. And all of a sudden the tide has changed. We'd seen Brunswick boys having most of the possession, and it's the Royal Mail who are building up the attacks now.
I think as soon as I said that, the whole flow of the game changed. Better keep my mouth shut, I think. Although that equaliser certainly sparked the game into life.
Yeah, the 2 goals, well, obviously that first controversial goal by Brunswick was the catalyst for it.
Yeah, and that's it. Porter with a kick. Royal Mail coming away with it. There's Carl Spinks, but he's lost out. Brunswick making an attack.
By Brunswick here. Good ball.
Phil Stankham, a bit too eager, isn't he? He's got into an offside position a couple of times there. It was a good opportunity, but he just nosed in front of the defender, and the linesman flag went up. Certainly looked lively though. He's seen a lot of the ball. And it looks like it's going to be a substitution, I think.
Well, they're allowed to name 5 substitutes each and bring the 5 substitutes on, which if they've got a big enough squad, I think they'd be well advised to do that, because as we were saying before, these boys are going to get very, very tired. It's a 12 o'clock kickoff. Very, very hot day today, and clever uses of the substitutes could well be the difference in the teams here. It'd be nice to see Royal Mail bring on 2 6-footers and surprise everybody. These guys look quite young for postmen, don't you think?
Certainly do. In fact, that looks like Gavin Williams coming off. But he played quite well, Gavin.
Looks a little bit disappointed to be coming off there.
He's been replaced by Kieran Quinn there, number 21 shirt he's wearing. We'll have to wait and see what difference that makes.
Well, as we're watching this, as we always do, remind you that you've got full coverage of all the Merseyside Youth International Football Festival, only on Channel 18, Liverpool Live, Liverpool's #1 cable station. I'm Jerry Rich, and match commentary is being provided by Rob Heron. If you've just joined us and wondering, as I've mentioned before, where Eddie Tutty is, he's winging his way back to Newcastle. And you're watching the Brunswick boys playing in red versus Royal Mail playing in the yellow and blue, and the score is 1-1.
That was a good challenge by Tony James. He's not a tall chap, but he certainly made up for an effort there. Really letting the Brunswick boys know he was there. So the throw in there goes with Tony Evans.
Nice flick on there. Just, oh.
That's Chris Smith with the header, and he's there again, winning it again, using his height to full effect.
A lot of effort here by Royal Mail. Good possession, good passing game. Just need to spread out a little bit more.
That's a good ball there. Sean Tierney couldn't quite get to it though. This could be Quinn's first touch of the ball over the far side. Just come on. As I said, number 21, replacing Gavin Williams.
I can't make up my mind here. We're looking at the number 5, John Porter, and the number 4, James Potter. I'm just wondering, is that Porter and Potter, or they could be brothers? No, I think it is Porter and Potter. Certainly both very, very big lads. Doing a great job in the back four for Brunswick. Potter and Porter.
Let's flip forward here, Stankham again.
Yeah, Phil Stankham is having a good match himself.
Here he is,
There he is again.
Yeah, I like the look of Stankham. I'd like to see him do a little bit more.
As is our want, we nominate our man of the match somewhere in the second half. If you're watching, you can agree with us or disagree, but it's just a bit of fun. So at this moment in time, if you had to make your choice, you'd be going for Mr. Stankham, and I'd be going for Mr. Moylan, I think, on Royal Mail side.
And I think as well, we'd have to mention that the Brunswick Central Defensive Partnership has looked pretty sturdy.
Very good indeed. So again, the much bigger boys from Brunswick find it quite easy to bundle the Royal Mail lads about.
It's interesting to look at what sort of players are going to progress after this level. Obviously the tall chaps seem to do better at this stage, but they don't always go on to do so well later on. Some of the little chaps who don't see so much of the ball perhaps have to try that bit harder.
Well, they're certainly trying that bit harder now.
Again, that's Sean Tierney. He's trying hard for number 9. And that's put forward by Mark Hughes.
It's 30 minutes each way in the under 11 section, as opposed to the 35 minutes we've been playing in the other matches. Just caught there.
Oh, that's for Moylan again. And this could be a goal.
Gone down. Oh, excellent save there. Referee allowed play to go on. We just see that incident again, I think. He's just limping off. He seems to have taken quite a knock there. We just see as the ball comes in here, thrown himself forward for it, and he's just caught as he goes in with the keeper. And he's probably hurt himself there. I hope he manages to get up.
There's Mark Hughes with the shot as well.
Excellent effort there. Slightly while the keeper was distracted.
Certainly did well and kept the ball down. Good opportunity for a rest, I think, for some of the players now.
He's just receiving a bit of attention there. Hopefully nothing too serious. There's the guys from St John's Ambulance just running across, and they've been here all week, and hopefully we'll have an opportunity to chat with them during today. It's always nice to see them at a tournament like this, because earlier on in the week, a young man, Anthony Flood, had quite a bad fall on one of the other pitches, and had to bring the ambulance on, and for a minute there was great concern. The boys from St John's Ambulance came over and they put him on a stretcher and trussed him up like a chicken, took him over to their tent, checked him out. We're still a little bit worried. Had the facility to run him right out to Alder Hay, where he was checked out, and everything was fine. He was brought back. He was running around about 20 minutes later, but as I say, it's always good to have that facility there, because I know the mums and dads send the kids off to play here, and they want that little bit of reassurance that if anything does come up, they're going to be looked after. Not so they're there to just stroll over and get some sunblock on and some after sun and treat the cuts and grazes and somewhere to send the lost children. So they're doing a good job. And just see them backing up here now. Just going to come over. As we saw in that match earlier on, I said, hopefully this is just a precautionary measure. If you are watching, don't get yourselves too worried, because the thought here is always, let's be safe rather than sorry. So the St. John's will always take a young man off and take him over to the area they've got designated. They've got a lot more facilities over there, and they'll just check him out. And you can be sure that we'll give you full information as it comes to us at exactly what's happening. But again, the same sort of procedure that was followed in the incident I was telling you with young Anthony Flood. He went through all of this. It's not too much cause for concern, I would hope. But what happens is, if a player takes a knock on the pitch, then they don't want to just move and get him to stand up, because something might have been knocked. He might have a broken bone or bruised rib or something like that. So they like to get him strapped up so he's in the right position where no further damage can be done. And that's exactly what they're doing there, just putting a little bit of support on his leg. It was Phil Moylan, I think,
right,
who went down.
He was having a good game as well. He'd be really upset to have to go off.
Yeah, well, as you can see there, not too much. Well, let's hope he hasn't broken anything. But as you can see, he's in a bit of pain, but he is fine, and he's got that support on his leg. He's going off in the ambulance, and you can be sure they'll take him over to the facility they've got there. They've got a large caravan. They check him out, and if they feel that anything more is needed, he'll be driven over to probably Alder Hay, which is very nearby, have an x-ray. But we'll keep you fully informed there. It's Phil Moylan, he's in there. If you're watching, Mum, he's fine. He's in the ambulance now. He's winging his way back off. I don't think it'll be too much of a problem. But as I say, we keep you informed of exactly what's happened to Phil. So the Royal Mail will have to be bringing on the substitute. And they'll miss him, because he's been having a fabulous game up front for them.
Yeah, he certainly looked dangerous.
Yeah, just listening to the trainers coming over here, just talking about what has happened. I think he's just fallen on his ankle. It's gone underneath him and he's twisted it a little bit. So they're unsure what's happened, but they're going to take him off and find out.
That was Quinn with the ball forward there. Just probing, trying to find a gap. The linesman's flag's gone up again.
Well, there'll be quite a bit of time added on for that stoppage there. Let's hope these young men took the opportunity to fill it with a little bit of water and cool themselves down during the break, because it's a very, very warm sun we're playing under here. And as Eddie would say if he was here, it's the same heat for both teams. Never forget that, Rob. Very important in football. A lot of commentators missed that point. Here on Liverpool Live, we'll remind you it's the same heat for both teams. The teams are Brunswick Boys versus Royal Mail, down here at Heron Eccles Field, where we've been all week for the Merseyside International Youth Football Festival. Scores 1 apiece. The Brunswick Boys in the red shirts, and the Royal Mail in the yellow and the blue shorts.
There again, you see the defensive strength of Brunswick. That full frame of the central defender.
Brunswick on the attack, no one really in support there. Royal Mail are dealing with that.
It's Gary Pinch.
Going to let that go out. Royal Mail throw in. Taken by the number 2, Tony James. He's had a good little game down there this side.
Yeah, definitely. He's really tried hard as well, especially for someone so small.
Yeah, he's only small, but very, very confident, and he's certainly dealt with a lot of these bigger lads coming down this wing, attacking him.
I think he's got quite a good technique as well.
Well, you can tell he must be a good player. He's got those flash red boots. Getting cut out by their number 5. Spots it there.
Bit of a game Porter has. There he is again.
Oh, and
Smudged in by Hughes.
good effort. Testing the keeper. As we keep saying, it's difficult to weave your way through this defence because there's so many pull back each time. And those long shots, they're the ones that are going to get them the goals, I think. You couldn't help but be impressed by the determination and the skill of these under-11s. Well, you couldn't play as good as that when you were under 11, mate.
I don't think I play as good as this now. Yeah, they have been good. It's really been a good game, I think. Certainly since the equaliser really sparked the game into life. It was one-sided, like we said earlier, to begin with. Central defenders really having most of the game for Brunswick. But I think since that goal, it's really opened up, and we have seen some good play. Like we said, the number 2, Tony James, has looked good on the ball. Stankham as well, he's been caught offside a couple of times, but I think he's getting forward, and that's important. And it's good to see them being positive rather than, like you say, negative, hooping the ball out. And I like to see a bit of good football from that.
I think it was very succinct there, Robert. You settle into this now, and I think you have summed up the game that we've been watching here.
That's taken us nicely, Joey, to the
Brilliantly, and as you say, you've taken us to the halfway whistle. You're watching full coverage on Liverpool Live Channel 18. The score there, Brunswick Boys 1, Royal Mail 1. It's been a fabulous game, and when we come back after this break, I'll tell you as much news as I can about the young man who was taken off. Merseyside International Youth Football Festival.
Getting married this year? Desperate for a wonderful honeymoon? Then don't miss Liverpool Live's wedding show. We'll bring you our definitive guide to getting hitched, covering dresses, food, venues, entertainment. It's all here, and you'll get the chance to win a fabulously romantic Caribbean holiday for 2. Liverpool Live's wedding show, it really is a visual marriage made in heaven.
Would you like to join the internet revolution? Fancy a new career in website design? Then the Webmaster Home Study course is for you. In just 6 weeks of part-time study, this step-by-step course can be completed in the comfort of your own home and gain you a nationally recognized qualification. You don't have to be a computer genius. Anyone can learn. Call 0151 475 2898 to find out more about the brighter future Webmaster can offer you. That's 0151 475 2898.
Buying a used car on finance, you need to make sure of 2 things. Firstly, that you're getting the best deal available. At Speak Hall Vauxhall, we'll give you full value for your current car, and our specialist finance department will make sure you get the best possible car to suit your budget. Secondly, you need to make sure that the car's reliable. At Speak Hall Vauxhall, it's not a worry because it's Network Q. Don't buy a used car on finance without a visit to Speak Hall Vauxhall, where finance is affordable and used cars are reliable.
Three, 2, 1, and cue. You're on air.
Yes, hello, you do join me live here at Liverpool Airport.
Oh, I tell you what, it's gone mad in here. What are you doing here?
Well, I'm here to help the launch, see if it all goes well.
But at the moment, I'm afraid to say, it's difficult to see how the Reds will get back into this one. We'll leave you for now with the news that at half-time, or as we approach half-time, it's 1-0 to Paris Saint-Germain.
Merseyside International Youth Football Festival. Well, welcome back to Heron Eccles Field here. We're just having a half-time break. The boys is just making the most of a well-earned rest. We were talking about that first goal, which was slightly controversial. I think we just got time to have a look at it again. Have a look at this, Rob. Sees the ball's lofted in from that corner. It's very, very scrappy indeed. Now, he kicks it there.
Certainly Stankham.
I don't think we could tell from our angle there whether that went in or it didn't, but you